According to this D&D Beyond developer update, about 50% of their player characters have equipped the following 5 weapons. That's weird, but why don't you take a second to guess what those weapons are? Okay, we have the Rapier, equipped by 6.1% of D&D Beyond characters, the Light Crossbow and Hand Axe, tied at 6.5%, the Short Sword at 8.4%, and by far the most commonly equipped weapon at 20.6% of characters, the Dagger. Cool, but why does this matter? Because there are 37 weapons in D&D 5e, 38 if you include the Boomerang, which isn't in my PHB, but still shows up on their graph of the top 25 weapons. And if we take a closer look at that data, it reveals that over 90% of their player characters have equipped the same 20 weapons. That is crazy to me. It means that out of 38 total, nearly half of the available weapons in the game are only being equipped by about 10% of its players. And they're just being equipped, not necessarily even being used during gameplay. But maybe this is okay. After all, in an epic fantasy world, surely we would never define our character concepts merely based on their weapons.
And you have my bow.
The point is that if all these weapons were actually useful or fun to use, more of us would use a wider variety of weapons in D&D and ultimately create a wider variety of character concepts, leading to more interesting and more memorable stories, instead of all of us carrying around the same handful of weapons. Basically, this steep curve reveals 3 problems. 1. This is a game where each weapon should have been designed to be fun to use for different characters or different combat scenarios. In this perfectly designed weapon system, we'd see an even distribution where all weapons are being used equally. Of course, with 38 options and some people wanting even more weapons in the game, that's incredibly difficult for game designers to achieve. Unless you make them all mechanically identical, which would be kind of boring, some weapons are always going to end up being objectively more powerful than others. So are the Dagger, Short Sword, Light Crossbow, Hand Axe, and Rapier the most powerful weapons in D&D 5e? I don't think so. Problem 2, with this data being based simply on each character's inventory, it's probably skewed toward the weapons that are specifically suggested in the starting equipment for popular character classes. Like, daggers are good, but they're standard issue for multiple classes. The Bard automatically receives one in their starting equipment. And I never noticed this, but the Rogue, Sorcerer, and Warlock all automatically start with 2 daggers each. We can infer the actual small number of favorite D&D weapons by looking at the top magic items also shared in that update, because their list only includes 5 magic weapons: the +1 dagger, longsword, rapier, longbow, and short sword. Magical or non-magical, those 5 are certainly popular weapon choices in my 5e games over the years. But problem 3. This data is a few years old, so player preferences among the whole community may have changed over time. And I know from creating multiple YouTube polls with thousands of responses each that many of us are looking for something new with our weapons. And this is where we can solve these problems. I think we can build on the simple and kind of lackluster 5e weapon system to make it more fun across the board. And now that I'm doing this full time, we can do it big. So instead of posting a little poll then trying to make something cool myself, I created a survey, linked below, that I want you to check out to help us understand what we as a community actually want out of our weapons in D&D. Then together, I know we can make weapon choice a more fun part of the game for those who want it, while maintaining this simple foundation that makes 5e accessible. Because I'm Bob, and this is where we learn how to have more fun playing D&D together, but it's too late for an intro. Just please like this video if you agree so more people will see it, check out the survey linked below, definitely share it with your fellow players, and look out for updates on the results and our next steps coming very soon. And keep building.